Junubota Day, June 25 DC Conference Hall Day, Samvidhan Hatya Divas Manaishi. Jundu Desh Day Emergency Impulse Kurigna 50 Sal Hojage commemorate Kurishin. Program la maksad do ito din la significance ke reflect Kurigna. Government officials, educators, students, our security personnel kan hissa loake feature Kurishin. India Meteorological Department ba Janaishi ki Nagaland Day June 25 ka shuru kurina June 28 tak लगातार बारिश और thunderstorms होबो कुछ IMD खान लगातार मौसम मॉनिटर करी আছে और पब्लिक खान के अपडेट्स फॉलो करबले अनुरोध কৰিছে Pradhan Mantri One Dhan Yojana Bitor Nagaland Beekeeping and Honey Mission Bra June 24 the Military Bosti Council Holiday Tools and Equipment Distribution Program Lucian. Angami Youth Organization or All Nagaland Taxi Association Ekilawati Milikina June 25 day Kohimati week-long taxi verification drive launch cushion. Illegal permit transfers can check Kuruble or valid license ensure Kurubo limited. Additional Deputy Commissioner Mon Pakun Pom in CS COVID-19 or influenza situation or public health response to Directorate of Health and Family Welfare Nagaland received Kurishe Idu Upper Mon District citizens kanke cover disha. Italaga COVID-19 symptoms so mild or halkasi or hospitalized nukuri ginabi pal hoichai kushe. Hello viewers, I'm Nltv Nagamese Primetime Day. Swagat kuri ase. Moi aji chumong lapom cover khan details ba janai dibo. Angami Youth Organization or All Nagaland Taxi Association eki logot miligina June 25 day Kohimadi week-long taxi verification drive launch kurishe. Illegal permit transfers can check kurubole or valid license ensure kurubo limited. First 10 day do 300 upper taxi verify kurishe. Second 10 day do 200 upper permits can check kurigina khodom hua gari thaga khange verification stickers issue kurishe. AYO General Secretary Nidaloto Sachubra Manukana safety or trust improve kurubole drive goal highlight kurishe. Nltv Lot Kotakuri Homoy Assistant Treasurer Victor Rutsabra kuishe drive to bhal bra luise aro kushi janaishe. Drive to khodam noha tak bhal bra lobole expect kuri ase kushe.
Angami Organization taxi verification drive itu suru hado kali suru hoise mokan 28 June tak Saturday tak jabo. Kali la turn up to over 200 around 250 and all, and we are continuing with the even today, as we have mentioned in our press conference also, we are going with phase-wise. We started with Lerie and New Reserve Part, and we are continuing with the other colonies today.
Abnan ayo kando ido verification drive jado dan puisa do 150 collect creation. So like can you be more specific on puisa do ido collect kuri na ido puisa ku jawo di it we all of ido.
See, with the verification, we are charging rupees 150 per taxi. However, we also should know that itubar verification thake to sticker ekta dibo paper process kan kane ektu makan collect kore no hoy. There are over 3,000 registered taxi permits today. Aru makan itu continue kore thakibo. Etia makan hunia to lapses thakar kane irregularities in the issuing of taxi permits mokan huni pa do itu karne mokan bi jase mokan taxi permits can be she transferred hogina second third party fourth party tak bi jaina ase itu bra itu all verify group aru mokan itu hafta to verification thakibo holibi aha din je mokan aru kagastik na hogina aigena register na hakan kala aru inspection jabo.
Idia ayo kando traffic police aro transport department kan lo di coordinate kuri gina ido verification drive to jas na kina ase.
Very much. Since the initiative for the taxi verification drive started, we are in close coordination with the transport office and also district administration. We also had a sitting with concerned stakeholders like the ANTA, and we are going ahead with this drive.
And what measures will you be taking, like if you find like there is a fake permit or the document?
This is what our intention is all about. Our intention is to clean the system. Issuing of taxi permit itu ekdom makan double third party, fourth party jaigina thaka bi mokan initiate bra ekbar itu verify kurgina mokan la fake finding ekta report labo itu bra tik tak thaka kan mokan aigina the taxi owners or even the permit owners or taxi drivers can be bishi cooperative hoina kalita kai ase aji bi mokan kuria to turn up to bishi balase mokan age jabo karne to mokan I think this is going to benefit the whole of us, especially we are also going to the extent of verifying those drivers who don't have driving license. That means I think the ANTA permit, the ANTA ID card for the drivers is also, we are having a last look with that also. I think, and today the ANTA officials also part of us here. We are as a team together, and I think this is going to benefit our society at large.
Chumukidima district bitore June 25 te sub village councils karne forum for village councils ar Chumukidima RD block bra village council hall de ekta meeting rushe. Meeting de khas issues technical implementation of inner line permit, rules of administration of justice and police in Nagaland 5th amendment rules 2025 ar alak matters village la welfare kanopor discuss kurche. Meeting day village council chairman, head GBs, village youth organization president, or village women organization saga chairperson bra hissa lushe. Abi the reporter Niboli Yoktolaga detail report saisa.
Thank you, media friends, for coming to cover our program. In spite of the inclement weather, you have come here. We thank you for coming. Today, 55 villages of Chumukidima district have come together to revive an association formed in 2015 by the nomenclature Chumukidima Area Village Councils Association. Earlier it was not a district, but now since Chumukidima is a district, we have decided to revive this organization and call it Chumukidima District Village Council Association. We have unanimously selected Mr. Rajaboto Chacha, the Village Council Chairman of Chumukidima Village, who is also the former president of Angami Public Organization and presently advisor to Angami Public Organization. He is the convener of the interim body because, as you all know, the tenure of the village councils will come to an end in March 2026. So it's an interim body now. And Mr. H. Vika Chishi, Village Council member of Unity Village, has been selected to be the secretary. And I'm thankful that they have selected me to be the spokesperson of the interim body. We have selected 7 prominent citizens to be advisors to this interim body. Today we have resolved several points. To begin with, we have resolved to ask the Department of RD to post a project director here in the district as early as possible, so as the works of the villages can be expedited. Again, we have also resolved to request the government, particularly the Department of School Education, to post or to make arrangements for a district education officer to be based here in Chumugidima. And we have also resolved to do away with the VDB Secretary Association in Chumugidima district. We feel that VDB secretaries function under the village council. So to keep the supremacy of the village councils, we have decided to do away with the VDB Secretary Association, if there was any in the past.
Ita mga kata break lawas sa Nagamese Nltv. Welcome back viewers, samnian sa Nagamese Primetime. Dimabude Wednesday din Nagaland BJP Bra District Office 50 years of national emergency observe Krisha. Minister for Paid and Cooperation Jacob Jimomi, our former MLA and State Vice President BJP Nagaland, H. Hying Para into program this speaker tradition. IB Tula detailed report, Sabo recording the Boli Yoktolagat.
Today marks the 50th year of emergency declared by the then Prime Minister of India, Srimati Indira Gandhi. We remember today the horrific times the citizens of this great nation had to go through. Our social life, religious life, economic life, and political life had a negative impact by the declaration and implementation of the emergency declared 50 years back. It still has a scar on the fabric of this nation. We are still recovering from this horrific act imposed on the citizens of this great nation. You all are aware that the mandate declared when Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India had been challenged by her opposition candidate Mr. Raj Narayan in the Allahabad High Court. Subsequently, during these trying times, the country was going into a very economic downturn, inflation, and many other social negative impacts on the citizens of this nation. There were food crises, people were struggling with hunger, there were misgovernance, misuse, abuse of authority by the then government, the Congress government, led by the late Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi. Subsequently, in 1974, there were uprisings in the entire nation, especially in Bihar and Gujarat. The mass movement against the governance of Srimati Indira Gandhi in Gujarat, which was led by the students' community, and it had a rippling effect on the entire nation. On 12 June 1975, the court declared and passed an order barring Srimati Indira Gandhi to hold office, the electoral office, for 6 years. For 6 years, this had got immense panic in her leadership and her government, and so in a very swift manner, she had declared emergency on 25th June 1975, fearing to lose the authority, her love for the chair, of losing the power and authority. She declared emergency in the country when it was not required.
संविधान हत्या दिवस का प्रोग्राम ऑब्जर्व करबले जून 25 थे दिमापुर डीसी कॉन्फ्रेंस हॉल दे लोइसे इदो होले इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के 1975 इमरजेंसी स्ट्रेट मार्क कुरिगना लॉ लगा आसी कुछ इदो इवेंट प्रा 2 साल इमरजेंसी डिक्लेयर कुरिया डेमोक्रेटिक राइट्स का सस्पेंशन खान याद कुरे डॉक्टर अमोंगला एन चामी राइट टू इमरजेंसी दो डार्क चैप्टर से कुरिगना डिस्क्राइब कुरिशा इदो अपो रिपोर्टर मोलम फॉर्मला डिटेल रिपोर्ट साइसब
So on the midnight of June 24, 1975, an emergency was declared in India under the leadership of Indira Gandhi under the Commerce Ministry. Now, you all know what happens after emergencies are declared. So this emergency, the duration of this emergency was nearly 2 years. And we all know, as I said, Article 352. So whenever emergencies are declared in the country, what happens? What entails? First, the press is terribly censored. Be it a government, be it private. So the censorship of the press is paramount. So as I was looking it up, the Indian Express, one of the oldest newspapers, the Statesman of another very old newspaper, Media House, they both ran blank pages that day. The next day, they are supposed to have a grand, a very informative, evocative article, obviously, but they ran blank. Why? Because it was a sign of protest for stifling their voice. At the same time, in Delhi that night, there was extreme power outages. So they could not run the press machine together with that problem of press censorship. So as a protest, they ran blank pages. That's one entailment, one problem that will happen when emergencies are declared. Another problem is, obviously, civil liberties, our fundamental rights, right to life, right to liberty, right to freedom of expression, everything, it gets curtailed terribly. So that's the first casualty again, in fact the prime casualty. And the third one, which comes after that, is the arrest of political opponents, especially that year. Arrest of political opponents of the Congress party. So I can always tell you some names. Adal Bihari Vajpayee was imprisoned. L.K. Advani was imprisoned. Morarji Desai was imprisoned. J. Narayan Prakash was imprisoned. J. Narayan was imprisoned. So those people, and George Fernandez, of course, they were all imprisoned and sent to Tihar jail. And they stayed for quite a long time, because it's nearly 2 years. Thousands of political opponents that were considered to be threats to Indira Gandhi, they were all imprisoned and sent to the jails all over the country. That was the immediate fallout. Now, the point here is that this emergencies was not really India by then, because we already had 2 emergencies. One in 1962 when China invaded India, Indo-China War, and the second one was in 1971 when Pakistan and India went for war, Indo-Pak war. So those two emergencies were already there fresh in the minds of the Indian citizens. So I believe the Indian citizens of that era were quite used to having emergencies planned upon them because of the very volatile situation here and there. So, but then something is very different here. What was different in 1975 is, because in both two emergencies there were wars. It's for us to see. But in 1975 there was no war breathing down on the backs of the government, on the citizens. There was no internal emergencies, no financial emergency, no external aggression, no internal upheavals. What was it? That is the point which
India Meteorological Department ba Janaishi ki Nagaland de June 25 ba shuru kurikina June 28 tak lagadar barish और thunderstorms hobo kushe. State laga alak jaga de light to moderate barish और thunder showers experience hobo pari kushe. Aru kunuba jaga de bishi 23 barish girubo kushe, particularly June 26 ba June 28 tak. June 25 te kunuba jaga de light to moderate barish aru thunderstorms lightning aibo kushe. Residents kanke alert thakegina necessary precautions lobole advice kushe, especially landslides, flash floods aru lightning strikes hoa area de. IMD khan lagatar mausam monitor kuri ase aru public kanke updates follow kuribole anurodh kushe. One-day skill development program ke Eagle Crest Training Academy and Consultancy bra District Administration Zinubodo logad milikina multi-purpose hall day June 25 din loishe. Program ke Kugatoli Yaptomi bra chair kushe. EAC Zinubodo L Chinglem Konyak bra vote of thanks kwa homoy Eagle Crest ke dhanyavad janashe. Takan bra homoy olaikina India aro abroad te aviation, hospitality aro cruise line services day career guidance dia karane. Jinglambra Janaishi ki Eagle Crest to Nagaland day at the leading training centers ase program day Zunaboto Range Students Union la General Secretary Holondo K Jimomi Arasumi Youth Organization la ekta representative bra hosla dia kota kushe. Even day at the interactive skill development workshop bi loshe Jundu day sub attendees bra hissa loshe.
Consultancy, private consultancy as a top consultancy firm Nagaland. Since when is it? 2010, 18. 18 was Nagaland. To ekdam famous na aro individuals kan students kan ke youth kan ke kam dia tane bishi. To mohan college ta news program da ai dino bolas na initiative ekdam. Why private as a tahan gani lab gani kuriya as maybe. At the same time, job videos, we don't ekdam significant. Ahado and active seriously rolling the wares. Last year, I see ekdam harbor. Last year, town hall we did there. Last year, resource person with the Asian in our students can be in Wabish Jamakuration. Ekdam harbor, the Hamil town organization. Satisfactory top there. This time, though, students and college students and secondary students mostly. So, skill development. So, on the verge of graduation, will be job market time they take to the policy. Will be summer vacation, occupation. You don't actually man. Will be Nadaki, a lot of Kiman Jama, 20 tradition Jama, learn action by learning Kurish or profit patient to some the first opening remarks was CSOs, the man will be GP special thanks to Mogat program, the puller operation will be Aji na kumbi akan bi amnian kani as mobilize program students union kan mohan program kiman banai will be amnan cooperate kurang isu tu iku kam na tu na mohan organize kushi will be manu tanya tu amnian as to tanya na isu tu mohan kam na itu ane mohan kiman puisa pelai kena jaga bisari kena ki banai will be amnian cooperate guna na jama guna isu tu kam na itu mesti thanks dia se aru ajilas noai next time itu thousands bishi aire ko isu ane morom se students union be RGB la representative kan ke cooperate kurore na sob mala district kan itu jani boleh India achigal itu skill development program to conditional last year aise sob ko puji baisi last year do around 300 to 19 I think don't mistake टाउनले गुराव तो एकदम 300 निशिना आइश तो तान भी एकदम खुशी वाले गुरु आरो शिका खान मिलेगा तो आई होप दैट यू वुडंट बी encouraged today discouraged today because man कुंदी आज बना गले भी हमने लाभी आगे कौन निशिना कुंदी होगी ना तांग होगी तो हमने पारतक फुल एनर्जी टीवी गुना हमने के कोई दिया से जाने आज जो लगा तो स्किल भी इम्पोर्टेंट है मोहन every time ना कुत्ते प्रोग्राम चले मुझे तो कोई देखी नहीं मुझे बार itu करेगी इतना तो मेमोरीज भी मुझे कोई करना गवर्नमेंट जॉब कुछ भी तो मकान तो गवर्नमेंट जॉब देखे थे तो सुन भी है ना ये दे बोगान भी मेजॉरिटी तो हमने एजुकेटेड थे इनागुरेशन ना कॉलेज स्टूडेंट्स की मानस है कॉलेज स्टूडेंट्स की मानस है पूरी ऐसे ग्रेजुएशन की मानस है itu तो
Idaman khata break lobo sai thakabi Nagaland TV. Welcome back viewers, Samningan Science in Nagamese Primetime. Additional Deputy Commissioner Mon Pakonpom NCS par COVID-19 or influenza situation or public health response Jundu Directorate of Health and Family Welfare Nagaland ba receive kurishe ito upper Mon district la citizens kange cover dishe. Itela COVID-19 symptoms do mild or halka se or hospitalized nukurigina bi phal hoi jai kushe. WHO bra publish kura laga recent reports hisab NB1812 iman serious nohoi gusha. Hoilibe kunuba common symptoms can identify kurigina ase aru itu kan do hoile mild bimar, mild sore throat, runny nose, dry cough, headache, fatigue aru kitiaba do sas pi lobon napara hoi jai kusha. Itu laga mamla de public kan nimide kunuba preventive measures aru laki thaka khobor khan dishe follow kurubule. Bimar ba bachigina thakibule hat to hodai tholai thakibi crowds jagare mask lagabi distance banai kina rakhibi jodi olop gao thik nai koile khorde buhibi cough kura homoy move to cover kuribi aro jaga khan hodai sapa kuri thakibi kushe nukurubule laga khan do hile symptoms can avoid nukuribi aro bimar asikule gatherings khan de na jabi bimar manu khan logade bishi osor na jabi aro hat sapa nukurigina face ke nochubi Personal saman jinega masks aro bottles kan dusra logode share nukuribi koigina chanaishi. Zunubodo Day, June 25 te DC Conference Hall Day, Samvidhan Hatya Divas manaishe. Jundu Desh te emergency impose kurigina 50 saal hoi jake commemorate kurishe. Program la maksad do itu din la significance ke reflect kurigina government officials, educators, students or security personnel kan hissa loa ke feature kurishe. Keynote address digina Zunubodo Government College la Assistant Professor Nisana T. Zimobra itu din la importance super emphasize kurigina kurishe ke itu din ba 50 saal mark kuri jitia India de June 1975 pra March 1977 tak emergency impulse kurishe kita basic rights so loikina bishi jon ke jail de thali dishe Zimobra kurishe ke itu homoy do India laga itihas te ekta andhera samay koikina sai Our government do Indira Gandhi bra lead kurishe our democracy our constitution ge chot punchishe koigina accuse kurishe Major Praveen Solotra bra kurishe ki enega galti wapas nukurubule past bra hikibule bishi zaruri ase aru itu bi kurishe nijor laga history janile hi itu bra sabke mazboot banai dibo Tai bra kurishe ki ekta mazboot society do duida saman lage itu to hoile phal economy aru knowledge Tai bra manu khange community growth nimide education our economic empowerment de dhyan dibule kurishe even though national anthem gaikina khatam kurishe Tunsang de June 25 te DC conference hall de Samvidhan Hatya Divas manaishe. Deputy Commissioner Tunsang Litrongla Tongpi Rutsabra tela speech te kuishe ki Samvidhan Hatya Divas to sal 1975 te Prime Minister of India bra desh te emergency impose kura homoy kun khan by injustice khilaf oppose kurigina larai kushe takange commemorate honor kuribole itu din ge manai. Aru itu din ge pura desh te manai kena ekta samay jitya desh laga constitution ge jipai kina thakala homoy ge ekta reminder nishina serve kuribo. Program de Engineer Vino Su ESC aro DCO Tunsang Kumeng bra kata speeches deliver kurishe. Kihomong Yumchungar STO bra word of thanks dishe aro program do Yumchungli K Sangtam bra chair kurishe. Shamator 30 Aba Jan Bhagidari Abhiyan Bhitor nationwide IEC campaign and benefit saturation activities are part pra Tuesday din Welfare Village Day awareness campaign kushe. Iri event PMMVY registration, menstrual hygiene promotion, Anganwadi centers to visit kurake bhi thalikina aro early childhood care services, educating women aro adolescent chukri kange safety or security schemes dibule karne kushe. One-stop center, Women Helpline 181, Domestic Violence Act provisions, Beti Bachao Beti Parao upor session luishe aro PMMVY Anganwadi workers bra menstrual hygiene practices upor health talks kurishe. Adolescent chokri aro women kange hygiene practices reinforced kurubule free sanitary pads dishe. Emmanuel Theological Seminary bra taikanla notun academic sal ge shuru kurigna ekta faculty or staff orientation program ge June 19 de loikina official inaugural ceremony do ZBCCNEI Center Church Day June 24 din theme pursuing God's approval 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 15 under day loishe. Inaugural program ge academic dean Twanyam Lungpi Gangmaibra moderate kurishe our welcome address to Reverend Dr. Tungchampo SP Bradishe. Speaker do Rathailung Gangmai Tamenlong Baptist Church La Youth Director Tagishe. June 19 the Loa ITS faculty staff orientation team teamwork bitorde ITS library de luishe. ITS to Brad June 25 din ekta community prayer or fasting program rakishe notun academic sal shuru kurubule isor ke guidance or unity mangikina. Pradhan Mantri One Dan Yojana Bitor Nagaland Beekeeping and Honey Mission Bra June 24 the Millary Bosti Council Hall Bra Tools and Equipment Distribution Program Lushe. Advisor Zaid Nusito Nutebra beneficiaries can get dedicated takibuli urge kushe. Our beekeeping do ekta key sustainable livelihood asegoigna highlight kushe. NBHM Chairman Obed Quinkerbra Bhalbra Procrease Kurubledo Forest Produce Cholable encourage kushe. Even though Repeto Newvi Bra Chair Kurisha or DC Millary K Matun Sanglao Bra officials can bra hisalushe. Tools or equipments can do Dosta Rafalo SHGS logot dishe. Ekta major post-pandemic development day Indian Railways kanba announced kurishi ki July 1 ba shuru kurigina passenger fare uthai dibo kushe. Aro tatkal ticketing system day booking transparency aro misuse rukhabole notun niyom banaise. Fare revision la highlights kando ile itu kana say suburban trains are monthly season tickets saga fare do na uthabo. Our second class fare journey to the 500 km tak jai utu do same hi thakibo. Second class day 500 km durla safar day 0.5 paise per kilometer utishe. Non-AC mail express trains day 1 paise per kilometer utishe or sub AC classes to 2 paise per kilometer utishe. Railways bra koishe ki itu revision bra hodai safar kuria or chutu safar kuria manukan duk napabo kushe. Shillong de Meghalaya Chief Minister Khunra K. Sangmabra use also Tham Auditorium premises day Williamson Sangma Meghalaya State Museum inaugurate Krisha. Museum do state la rich cultural ke manakina indigenous artifacts, traditional fabrics or Meghalaya la diverse traditions ke showcase kurigna dedicate Krisha. Museum do Hill State Movement ge bi tribute nishina serve kuri. Our Meghalaya la first Chief Minister Captain Williamson Sangma nishina pioneers ke honor kuri. CM Sangma bra emphasize kurishi ki museum do state la past aro bhal future la symbol asi aro itu do ekta space nishina khara kuribo learning pride aro cultural preservations karne. Meghalaya Police par Raja Raghuvanshi la murder hadsa por narco analysis conduct kurishe. Kode accused kan lawde bra strong evidence or clear confessions kan cite kurigina. East Khasi Hills SP Vivek Siambra state kurishe ki court narco taste to inadmissible ase aro iku lead nataka homoide hi July kurigina. Prime accused Raj Kushwaha aro Sonam Raghuvanshi bra confess kurishe aro crime scene ge reconstruct kuribule modot dishe. Police bra confirm kurishi ki Raj aro Sonam do relation de thakishi itu karni taijun eki logot thakibule do Raja Muria dia piche hi paribo itu karni murder kuri dishe koina. Confess kuria aro evidence crime scene detail kan secure koina police bra itia do detail charge sheet darj kuribule tayar kuri ase kushe. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar kun Nainital de thagishe ekta program attend kurule kundu Kumau University bra ayojan kurishe tade tai Wednesday din de olop health issues olaisha. University laga event khatam hoi jaigina Vice President ba talaga purana sati our former member of parliament Dr. Mahendra Pal laga khor visit kurishe. Medical assistance kan pat bra jaga de kunjishe our Vice President ke lagi thaga ilaj dishe jundu piche talaga health normal hoi jaishe.
उन्होंने याद किया इमोशनल भी की थोड़ा तबीयत भी गड़बड़ाई और बाद में नॉर्मल हो गए थे लेकिन इमोशनल होने की वजह से थोड़ा हो रहा मैं उनका बहुत आभारी हूँ उन्होंने याद किया इमोशनल भी की थोड़ा तबीयत भी गड़बड़ाई और बाद में नॉर्मल हो गए थे लेकिन इमोशनल होने की वजह से थोड़ा हो रहा मैं उनका बहुत आभारी हूँ उन्होंने याद किया इमोशनल भी की थोड़ा तबीयत भी गड़बड़ाई और बाद में नॉर्मल हो गए थे लेकिन इमोशनल होने की वजह से थोड़ा हो रहा मैं उनका बहुत आभारी हूँ उन्होंने याद किया इमोशनल भी की थोड़ा तबीयत भी गड़बड़ाई और बाद में
Uttar Pradesh Cooperative Dairy Federation bra Gorakhpur, Kunpur aro Kanauj de dairy plants operation aro Ambedkar Nagar de animal feed production unit karni National Dairy Development Board logode Wednesday de MOU sign kurishe. Event jundu Lucknow de bra luishe tade Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath bi hissa luishe. CM yoki bra agriculture or elite sectors can neglect kriya karni poila government kan ge criticize kurise aro taken ge anti farmer ase koigina bi accuse kurise.
उत्तर प्रदेश जैसे राज्य में जहां पर अनंत संभावनाएं पहले से छुपी हुई हैं, कृषि और कृषि से जुड़े हुए सेक्टर में वहां पर जो कार्य होना चाहिए था, वास्तव में पिछली सरकारों की अकर्मण्यता और अन्नदाता किसान विरोधी सोच के कारण वो आगे नहीं बढ़ पा रही थी। योजना बनती थी बंदर बांट करने के लिए, योजना बनती थी ठेके पट्टे हथियाने के लिए, उसके पीछे अन्नदाता किसान का, नौजवान का, महिलाओं का, पशुपालकों का हित हो सके ये भाव ही नहीं था। लेकिन 2014 के बाद देश के अंदर समग्र विकास की जिस अवधारणा को प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने आगे बढ़ाया, आज वह जमीनी धरातल पर देश के अंदर भी देखने को मिल रहा है और उत्तर प्रदेश के अन्नदाता किसानों के जीवन में हुए परिवर्तन के माध्यम से भी हम देख सकते हैं। आज हमारा अन्नदाता किसान को सहाल है। आज वो आत्महत्या नहीं करता, पलायन नहीं करता। आज उसे कृषि सेक्टर और कृषि से जुड़े हुए एलाइड सेक्टर में सभी प्रकार की प्रोत्साहन भी मिलते हैं, तकनीक भी मिलती है और उसे हर प्रकार से सरकार सहयोग करने के लिए तत्पर दिखाई। उत्तर प्रदेश जैसे राज्य में
Agartala railway station de Agartala GRP aro RPF Pramilikina Karoi Murad Amtali Jaga laga 29 South degree Aparna Dibarma ke smuggle kurubule thakya 21.49 kg dried ganja trolley de lokai kina taga seize kurigina giraftar kurise. Interrogation kura homoy accused pa confess kurise ki tai rupees 7.5 lakh pa ganja Delhi de bikri kurubule thagise. Taibra admit kurise ki chutu quantities are ganja la smuggling via train do tai kuri thagishe hile bi Agartala ba large amount ganja anya laga do first attempt asekuse. NDPS Act bitor case register kurise taike police remand karni court te pathai dishe. Agartala GRP inspector Tapas Das pa kurise ki itu opor pushtash shuru hoise.
रेलवे स्टेशन से फिर से अरेस्ट हुआ है एक वुमेन ड्रग स्मगलर और ये जो वुमेन ड्रग स्मगलर है वो अगरतला रेलवे स्टेशन से ट्रेन से कर दिल्ली पर जो ड्राई गांजा है वो उस ड्राई गांजा स्मगलिंग करने वाले थे। तभी अगरतला जीआरपी थाना, अगरतला आरपीएफ और इंटेलिजेंस डिपार्टमेंट मिलकर और उन वुमेन ड्रग स्मगलर को अगरतला रेलवे स्टेशन से अरेस्ट किया है और आज पुलिस रिमांड लेकर वो जो वुमेन ड्रग स्मगलर है उनको अदालत में पेश किया जाएगा। ऐसा ही मीडिया के सामने बताया अगरतला जीआरपी थाना का इंस्पेक्टर दास। और ये जो वुमेन ड्रग स्मगलर है उनका नाम है अपर्णा वर्मा, उनका एज है 29 और उनका घर है जो त्रिपुरा का सिपाहीजला डिस्ट्रिक्ट है कोरेमुरा आमतली एरिया पर। और इन महिला ड्रग स्मगलर के साथ और कौन कौन जुड़े हुए हैं इनको भी अरेस्ट करने के लिए अगरतला जीआरपी थाना का पुलिस कार्रवाई कर रहा है। ऐसे ही बताया अगरतला जीआरपी थाना का इंस्पेक्टर थापर दास ने। अगरतला रेलवे स्टेशन से कैमरा सत्यजय महेंद्र के साथ विक्रम कर्मा का रिपोर्ट, नागालैंड टीवी अगरतला।
तो महिला ड्रग पेडलर ये मतलब शाम को हुआ था। एक्चुअली वो एक मतलब ट्रॉली बैग में ड्राई गांजे के साथ अगरतला रेलवे स्टेशन में मतलब डिटेन किया गया है, जिसमें जॉइंट ऑपरेशन किया था अगरतला जीआरपीएस एवं अगरतला आरपीएफ। तो कल ही हम लोगों ने उन लोगों के खिलाफ एक अगरतला जीआरपी थाना में एक एनडीपीएस केस मतलब दर्ज किया है और उनके पास से टोटल 21.49 केजी गांजा बरामद हुआ है और उसका आईडी कार्ड और स्मार्ट मोबाइल फोन। तो हम लोग उन लोग अभी भी मतलब इंटरोगेशन चल रहा है और कुछ नाम भी मतलब आ रहा है कि हम लोग ये वेरीफाई कर रहे हैं, हमारा जो सिस्टर एजेंसी है। और तो हम लोग ये देख रहे हैं कि इसमें मतलब सोर्स ये कहाँ से लाया है और कहाँ मतलब लेने वाले थे। प्रिलिमिनरी तो वो बताया कि वो दिल्ली ये भेजने वाले थे, जहाँ पर उसका बहुत प्राइस मिलता है तकरीबन 1 किलो 35,000 करके। तो अगर यही हिसाब से मतलब हम लोग अगर मिले तो तकरीबन 7.5 लाख के आसपास होता है उसका जो डेस्टिनेशन प्राइस है। तो आज हम उनको लॉ एंड कोर्ट में पेश कर रहे हैं विद पुलिस रिमांड। तो अभी देखता हूँ कि इसमें और भी क्या क्या निकलता है। तो जो भी इसमें कोई मतलब क्लू मिलता है हम लोग जरूर उन लोगों के खिलाफ लॉफुल एक्शन लेंगे। कितना क्वान्टिटी का क्वांटिटी? ये टोटल है 21.490 kg।
सर और एक बात, ये जो वुमेन ड्रग्स स्मगलर जो यहाँ पर स्टेशन पर आए थे, वो कौन सी वाली ट्रेन से चलने वाले थे?
ये एक्चुअली तो वो जो हमारा जो अगरतला धर्मनगर का ट्रेन है, डेमो ट्रेन, तो इसमें मतलब वो जाने वाले थे। तो वो एक्चुअली मतलब धर्मनगर से मतलब जगह जगह में उसका शायद कोई नेटवर्क होगा, तो इसमें से वो बाहर जाने वाले थे। तो ये हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि असल में ये कौन सा मतलब ट्रेन। इसके पहले तेजस भी था जो राजधानी में शायद वो भी मिस किया है। तो हम लोग ये देख रहे हैं, तहकीकात कर रहे हैं कि एक्चुअली में वो कौन से मतलब कौन सा ट्रेन से मतलब जाने जाने के लिए वो लोग आए थे, और इसमें और कौन कौन उसको मतलब शामिल हो सकते हैं। तो हम लोग ये देख रहे हैं, अभी भी इंटरोगेशन चल रहा है, हमारा जो पुलिस टीम कर रहा है, और हम लोग पुलिस रिमांड का भी मांग करेंगे लानत कोर्ट में। तो देखता हूँ आगे जाके क्या मिलता है। और जो भी इसमें मतलब या ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि रेल का कोई भी बंदा भी इसको शामिल हो सकता है। तो हम
अगरतला रेलवे स्टेशन से फिर से अरेस्ट हुआ है एक वुमेन ड्रग्स स्मगलर, और ये जो वुमेन ड्रग्स स्मगलर है वो अगरतला रेलवे स्टेशन से ट्रेन से कर दिल्ली पर जो ड्राई गांजा है वो उस ड्राई गांजा स्मगलिंग करने वाले थे।
US President Donald Trump witnessed in US तीनटा nuclear facilities Iran nuclear sites से strike करा पिछले Iran's nuclear program के रुखाई दिशे। Trump कृषि के इतो हमला करा तो war के खत्म करिब लगा target कृषि Gaza conflict भाल progress सुशे करिगना claim कृषि।
It's so devastated, and they settled when they saw what we did to it. And frankly, if we didn't do that, they would have had a lot of ammunition to keep going. They wouldn't have settled. Somebody brought that up, and 2 Iranians went down to see it, and they called back and they said, this place is gone. I think basically decades, because I don't think they'll ever do it again. I just don't think they're going to. I think they're going to take their oil, they're going to have some missiles, and they'll have some defense. I think they've had it. I mean, they just went through hell. I think they've had it. The last thing they want to do is enrich. They've been trying to do it. By the way, it's hard to enrich. And, you know, when you look at a site like that, very, very hard to build. Very, very hard, very expensive. They spent trillions of dollars trying to do this thing, and they didn't come up with it. And we're actually getting along with them very well right now. But had we not succeeded with that hit ended the war. That hit ended the war. I don't want to use an example of Hiroshima. I don't want to use an example of Nagasaki. But that was essentially the same thing. That ended that war. This ended that with the war. If we didn't take that out, they'd be fighting right now.
The United States,
if they rebuilt.
Would the United States strike again? And I have also
Sure.
a question about Russia.
But I'm not going to have to worry about that. It's gone for years. Very tough to rebuild because the whole thing is collapsed. In other words, inside, it's all collapsed. Nobody can get in to see it because it's collapsed. You can't go in to see a room that has, 10 million tons of rock in it. And the tunnels are totally collapsed.
But if they rebuild?
Well, they've already looked at the tunnels. This was an unbelievable hit by genius pilots and genius people in the military, and they're not being given credit for it because we have scum that's in this group, and not all of you are. You have some great reporters, but you have scum. CNN is scum. MSDNC is scum. The New York Times is scum. They're bad people. They're sick. And what they've done is they're trying to make this unbelievable victory into something less. Now, even they admit that it was hit very hard, okay? But it wasn't hit hard. It was hit brutally, and it knocked it out. The original word that I use, I guess it got us in trouble because it's a strong word. It was obliteration. And you'll see that. And it's going to come out. Israel is doing a report on it now, I understand. and I was told that they said it was total obliteration. You know, they have guys that go in there after the hit, and they say it was total obliteration. I think great progress is being made on Gaza. I think because of this attack that we made, I think we're going to have some very good news. It's so devastated, and they settled when they saw what.
Bollywood superstar Salman Khan do cricketing scene de gushigina New Delhi la Indian Street Premier League la Malik Kuship tournament la season 3 Napuncha Akide. Khan do disrupt Bollywood counterparts Hrithik Roshan, Bengaluru Strikers, Surya Chennai Singhams, Ram Charan Falcon Rises Hyderabad, power couple Saif Ali Khan and Kareena Kapoor Khan Tigers of Kolkata, Amitabh Bachchan Marji Mumbai and Akshay Kumar Srinagar ke Veer Nishna logade jurigina logade miligina taibi league te invest kushe ISPL chindu duida seasons kheli loshe edudo T10 tennis ball cricket tournament ase aro raw talent ke ekta platform de taikana skills dikhable. Itani midday mani hobo or the news updates by Nltv Nagamese Primetime.